Here also in this picture we can clarify the external jugular vein that could be used as to indicate the internal jugular vein, the location of internal jugular vein, so that we can look for the measurement of jugular venous pulsation, and could be used to assess the jugular venous pressure as indication for the central venous pressure. It's not an accurate measurement. In order to measure the central venous pressure, we have to have a catheter placed inside the jugular vein, and this will be explained later in hemodynamic. وعادة jugular venous pressure up to 8 to 10 تقريبا ممكن يكون normal. Low jugular venous pulsation may indicate low central venous pressure, which may indicate a hypovolemia or decrease in fluid. Elevated jugular venous pressure may indicate high venous pressure, which may indicate hypervolemia or failure in the right side of the heart. Percussion of the heart to indicate the heart size, not commonly used. We have nowadays echocardiogram and different procedure to assess the heart size. Regarding the auscultation, we can auscultate the heart sound like S1, S2 using the diaphragm of the scope, and the pill of the scope to assess the S3, the S4, and the murmurs. We have to look for the heart sound. As we know, the first heart sound results from the closure of atrioventricular valves in the systolic period. S2 results from the closure of semilunar valves in the diastole. S3 results from rapid filling of ventricular diastole, which is normal in children and young people, and abnormal above 35 years old. S3 could be seen among patients with left ventricular failure and could be heard at apex. Regarding S4, it's the atrial gallop late in diastole before S1 directly and heard at apex by the pill. The sequence of the heart sound is very important, where I can hear the heart sound in the cardiac cycle. As we know that S1, S2, S2 means the closure. قاعدة أساسية لازم نعرفها إنه إحنا دايما بنسمع صوت انسداد الصمام وليس فتح الصمام. إذا سمعنا صوت فتح الصمام معنى ذلك أن هناك خلل في ذلك الصمام. So that we have to hear only the closure of the valve, not the opening. S2 means the closure of semilunar valve, which is the aortic and pulmonic valve. S2 بعد S2 كلمة بعد S2 يعني بعد انسداد aortic and pulmonic valve. شو لازم يصير بعد انسدادهم؟ لازم يفتح الميترال والترايكسبيد. الميترال والترايكسبيد المفروض ما نسمعهم، ما نسمع صوت فتحهم. إذا سمعنا صوت فتح الميترال والترايكسبيد بعطينا صوت اسمه opening snap. الآن after the opening of mitral and tricuspid، إذا سمعنا صوت فتحهم قلنا opening snap، شو بده يصير في عنا؟ filling. هذا الفيلينج المفروض ما نسمع له صوت. إذا سمعنا صوت الرابد فيلينج في الفنتريكولار دايستول شو بنسميه؟ S3. after the filling تبقى كمية بالبلاد موجودة في الاتريوم. هاي الكمية من البلاد الموجودة في الاتريوم تنزل باتجاه الفنتريكل and the amount of the blood in the atrium goes down to the ventricle by atrial contraction. This atrial contraction we have not to hear the sound. يعني الاتريال contraction ما لازم نسمع صوته. إذا سمعنا صوته شو بعطينا؟ S4 وهو الاتريال الجالوب. بعد الاتريال كونتراكشن شو بدي يصير بالمايترال والترايكاسبيد؟ كلوجر. الكلوجر اوف mitral and tricuspid اللي هو S1، فاجى الاس 4 قبل الاس 1. اذا ترتيب the normal and abnormal heart sound like S1 S2، بعد الاس 2 مباشرة opening snap، بعد الاوبننج snap S3 which is early in diastole، بعد الاس 3 late in diastole اللي هو الاس 4، والاس 4 يسمى pre systolic يعني قبل الاس 1. اذا بعد الاس 4 بيجي عندنا اس 1. اذا الترتيب النهائي S1 S2 opening snap S3 S4 S1، وبالتالي هذا هو ترتيب الهارت ساوند in the cardiac cycle. This the picture clarifies the location of where you can auscultate the heart sound at the tricuspid area here at the third, fourth, fifth intercostal space. Also, which is called the tricuspid area, the apical area at the fifth intercostal space, midi-clavicular line. Also, the pulmonic area at the second intercostal space, left to the sternum. Also, at the second intercostal space, right to the sternum, is the aortic area. This picture is more clear, that provide the four area that we can auscultate the heart sound. The tricuspid area, second point here, or let's start with the first area, number one, رقم واحد, it's the apical area, the apex. The tricuspid area at the third, fourth intercostal space, directly at the border with the sternum. Third area is the pulmonic area, a second intercostal space, left to the sternum. And the fourth area, it's the aortic area at the second intercostal space, right to the sternum. We can auscultate the heart sound in different positions, as we know in the physical exam. Supine position. If it's not clear, you can ask the patient for leaning toward left decubitus position in picture B. Also, you can ask the patient to stand and to leaning forward in picture C. Regarding the cardiac lab studies, we have to assess the hematology, CBC, which is the complete blood count, like red blood cell, white blood cell, hematocrit, hemoglobin, ferritin, and iron level. The hemoglobin is very important. Ferritin and iron also is very important, which is the storage اللي هو مخزون الحديد في الجسم. Hemoglobin is very important because it's responsible to transport the oxygen to body parts. Patients with heart failure, if accompanied with hemoglobin decrease or insufficient hemoglobin, هذا راح يؤدي انه تصعب حالة المريض اكثر واكثر. ليش؟ لان الهيموغلوبين unavailable, the heart unable to provide adequate blood supply, no adequate cardiac output. عشان هيك اذا اجتمعوا الثنتين، اذا كان المريض عنده decrease في الكارديك اوتبوت، والكمية الكارديك البلاد فلو اللي طالعة قليلة، وكمية محتوى الأكسجين في الكمية الدم اللي طالعة قليلة، إذا الأكسجين supply to the body part will decrease severely. So that it's very important to assess these values. Additional lab studies, coagulation studies, like the partial thromboplastin time, which is the BTT, the normal range 25 إلى 40 ثانية 25 to 40 seconds, which used to regulate the heparin dosage. Among patients with cardiovascular disease, it's preferable to be 1.5 to 2.5 the therapeutic range. يعني يكون قراءة البي تي تي 1.5 إلى 2.5 ضعف النورمال. يعني ممكن نوصل قراءة البي تي تي لحد 80 second acceptable. prothrombin time, which is the BT, which is less than 13 seconds, and used to regulate the warfarin dose, and it's preferred to be 1.5 to 2.5 times the BT, the therapeutic range. إذا أردنا أنه نعرف فاعلية عمل الهيبارين بنروح بنقيس للمريض البي تي تي، وإذا أردنا معرفة فاعلية الوارفارين وننظم جرعة الوارفارين لازم نعمل فحص البي تي. The International Normalized Ratio INR, which is a standardized method for reporting the BT level and also used to regulate the warfarin dosage.